You know, it seems that for every boss fight with fair difficulty, unique design, and presentation that enhances your gaming experience, there's always going to be that one. Like that guy in a group presentation that lowers the whole mark because he's half asleep. Since boss battles are often tests of what you've learned in a game, shitty boss fights bog the game down because they make you wonder if you're missing something when you're not. They're the ones that make you mad when it's not even your fault. So I'm ripping into the 10 video game bosses that pissed me off the most and overall sucked the hardest. These are the top 10 worst boss battles I've faced.
This is bad. This is so very bad.
Shadow of the Colossus. The amount of times I've mentioned this game practically goes to show its staying power right there. I mean, the story's pretty great, but let's face it, the whole reason this game is so loved is due to its scale. Because while the whole game takes place in a fantasy setting, it simulates what it might actually feel like to climb a living mountain. What I'm trying to say is that the game did a respectable job of immersing you into its world. So how do you wreck the illusion of being immersed into a game? Shitty programming, that's how. The whole point of the battle with the 9th Colossus is to use your horse to lure the boss over one of the water geysers in the field and use the force of the water to flip it.
Flipping for real.
And as awesome as that would have been, not only do the geysers have a short time limit before they stop spouting, they sometimes pass through the Colossus and do nothing. This only gets worse when you factor in that the Colossus follows you, and because the camera and controls are admittedly kind of finicky, you might make the Colossus move and miss that precise mark completely by accident. When I fought the 9th Colossus, I didn't feel like I was David killing giant turtle Goliath. I felt like I was a gamer rotating the control stick around until I got the Colossus to go where I wanted. But what cements the 9th Colossus on this list is... Oh, because that's totally fair!
Alright, I gotta move here. It'll bring down a house.
Icarus Uprising is quickly becoming a cult classic, and deservedly so. It's all about sheer enjoyment, and a lot of that is owed to its fast-paced gameplay and its surprisingly clever writing that's more than once left me in stitches. So good thing none of that is present when you fight Hades' heart then, right? This walking turd clones itself and makes the clones explode like in Bomberman while it runs away from you. Oh, but the massive blast range clearly wasn't enough for this boss, because if you hit it hard enough, the heart turns invincible for what seems like forever, becomes fast like the fucking Roadrunner, and tries to trample you over. Now, this wouldn't be such a problem normally, seeing as the game's pretty liberal about your ability to instantly dodge attacks. The problem is that you fight this boss in a maze, and the walls are so tight together that even if you dodge it, you'll probably get hit again anyways, either because the explosion lasts too long, or because the heart turns around to clobber you again. The confined setup of this fight completely goes against the rest of Uprising's combat, which allowed for a lot of freedom and was fast-paced. But what makes an already jarring boss fight even worse is that in the end, Hades' heart is completely pointless. After you destroy the heart, nothing important comes of it. Even Hades himself basically says,
"Nah, I'm fine. You may have completely annihilated my heart, but let's just forget that happened. You mad pity pat."
Hades!
Hey, let's talk more pain!
Back when QuickTime events were still new and trying to find ways to make a single button command look edgy, Resident Evil 4 gave us the knife fight with Jack Krauser, which was anything but. The reaction times for the button combos in this fight are too fast, and the instant deaths that you get if you miss are bullshit. It makes no sense given how Krauser's knife isn't an instant kill later on, and a second chance would have been nice so that you don't have to constantly repeat the fight and be increasingly removed from the flow of the game. Even forgetting that all you're doing is just tapping one button to not lose, this fight is boring. Compared to slaying sea monsters and a giant mutated midget, this fight is so ordinary that it tries and fails to compensate for that with a laughable amount of slow motion. Add on a few cringeworthy yet somehow forgettable quips from the one-dimensional Krauser.
Enough talk. Die, comrade.
Leon, I'm gonna kill you to death. And you get a scene that attempts to be clever, but ultimately ends up gimmicky and uninteresting. Now, if you're wondering if this should really be considered a boss fight, it still requires you to press buttons to ward off an enemy like any other boss fight. But I guess that said, I'll be fair and mention the main battle with Krauser too. It's not as shitty.
Okay, first of all, it's creepy.
Boss fights with Bowser always seem to be either instant classics or instant punchlines. I mean, you have game changers like the final battle of Yoshi's Island, inventive uses of Mario's platforming like in Mario 3D Land, and then fucking this. This whole scene already looks like a Mario villain greeting card, and yet it somehow only gets less dignified from there. Yeah, the weak points on the villainous hot tub are pathetically obvious, and Bowser and Bowser Jr.'s attacks are as simple to dodge as running the other direction, but those problems are nothing compared to— oh, what the fuck? You know, Nintendo, I thought we were over this clipping shit after Goldeneye. This battle only poured salt on the wounds you probably earned from Corona Mountain just before it. Trust me when I say the voice acting is the least of your problems here.
That is the weirdest thing you have ever said.
You know, since Mad World has you kill horde after horde of random mooks just for your regular stages, a boss fight consisting of more generic mooks really doesn't seem all that spectacular. But that's not why the shamans are crap. Fucking werewolf wheel that hits the air so hard it causes damage is why. The leader of the werewolf pack that you have to hunt down is a coward that loves to hide behind its infinitely spawning minions, which is only made more obnoxious by how oddly generic all of their designs look. What makes it worse is that whenever I'd enter power struggles with the shamans, the motion controls would read certain inputs as if they were wrong when I clearly did the right movement. I'm not the only one who's experienced this problem, and it's only happened during this level of the game. Not even making the boss into roadkill feels satisfying after the fight keeps glitching out like this. How does that work? Oh, right, it doesn't. Okay, I admit it, I'm a sucker for nostalgia. I'll play the N64 GoldenEye any day. Its control scheme's primitive, sure, but damn if I haven't gotten used to it. That said, GoldenEye Source has it beat as a near-exact remake featuring modern controls, and Alec Trevelyan is one of the worst boss fights ever made. As you hunt down Trevelyan on his antenna cradle trying to get headshots in, this little bastard always runs away from you so he can go be a camper. And because GoldenEye's aiming system locks your movement while you aim, you become a sitting duck while the infinitely respawning Giannis troops riddle you with machine gun fire. Oh, and there's no radar to tell where the minions are. There's radar in the multiplayer, but not here. Good job, Rare. Add in uninspired taunts and a grossly anticlimactic death scene to the mix, and you've got a boss fight that's irritating on top of representing GoldenEye's archaic programming.
For England, Autarch.
No, so I don't have to fucking talk about you anymore!
Perfect day to maybe, hey, just lie in bed, sleep in.
I might not enjoy Mega Man 2 as a game, but that doesn't mean I can't see why it's resonated so strongly in pop culture. Its weapons are a lot more varied than the first games, its music is some of the catchiest in gaming history, and its boss designs are really creative. I mean, we have Airman, who's literally a walking fan that can blow you away, a mechanical dragon that freaking chases you, and a bunch of orbs on the walls that— wait, what? Okay, really? Who seriously thought this was going to work? Exciting shooter action? Nope, fucking puzzles, son! You have to navigate a maze of all things and destroy these orb things before they drain your life with almost unavoidable attacks, and you can only destroy them with the Crash Bomber, which just has 7 shots. This battle is all about unfairly screwing you over, from knocking you off platforms with lasers, to placing a few barriers that are just there to trick you into wasting precious ammo. Every other Mega Man boss fight gave you a chance to beat the boss without the weakness, but if you run out of Crash Bombs in this one, you have to force yourself to die. So you return to a checkpoint. You have no ammo left. You have to waste even more of your time to get all of that ammo back.
I'm in this one. I'm in this one.
Metroid Other M. Some of the design choices this game made baffle me. While the third-person gameplay was pretty fluid, if mindless and completely unlike a Metroid game, the first-person segments were stiff, had an awkward lock-on system, and sometimes forced you into these frustrating searching segments where the target is often something like, I don't know, green blood on green fucking grass. The very first one of these made me look up a walkthrough in order to solve it, and guess what? The game's final boss fight is another search segment! All that the final confrontation with the android MB consists of is her summoning these giant cyborg bugs to attack you. You can't move, meaning that you can't dodge the bugs, and they will kill you fast if you don't know what to do. The bugs regenerate if you beat them, and yet there's still a chance that you will win this fight by accident. Those bugs? You're not supposed to kill them. They're just there to block your vision so that you can't see MB, who you only have to aim your crosshairs at to win. That is your big battle with the main villain. For all that pretentious motherhood symbolism bricked into your skull the whole game, you'd think the fight between Samus and the resurrected Mother Brain would be this ultimate clash of mother figures. But no, you don't even get to defeat her. The ending, sudden and anticlimactic. That symbolism, offensive if you think about it too deeply. Fuck this game.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me!
It's been about 3 years since I first ranted about the final boss of No More Heroes 2, Jasper Bat Jr.
He's a murderer! He's annoying! He's maddeningly difficult to beat, and he robbed me of a good final battle! I hate him! I hate him! Fuck!
Good God, that used to be me. Anyway, since then, I've seen a lot of differing opinions about this boss, including a few defenses of it as a metaphor about revenge being unsatisfying. So, now that I have more critical experience under my hat, you might be surprised to hear that I hate this fucker more than ever! I'm sorry, am I missing something here? Because as far as I can tell, Jasper Bat Jr. has all the hallmarks of shit boss design. Vague ways of advancing through the fight? Yep. Attacks that hit you faster than you can avoid? Yep. Camera that makes you unable to see the boss's attacks? Yep. Rules? Ah! You'll only be able to beat the last 2 phases when the AI decides it'll let you win. Because of the literally unpredictable teleporting pattern, Jasper's second form will punch you in randomized directions, and if that means toward a window, you'll get knocked out, die, and be able to do fuck all about it because Jasper's combos outlast your dodges. Same thing goes for his mascot form. You're forced to attack him right up close, meaning that because of the crap camera in this fight, you'll never see what kind of punch he's using before you have a chance to dodge it. So, people are defending this? Okay, get this. I've been hearing claims that Suda51, being the pretentious auteur that he is, deliberately designed this battle to be terrible to make the player feel unsatisfied with following Travis's quest for revenge on Jasper for killing his best friend. So then explain to me why Travis has this whole rant before the final battle saying that there's more to his quest than only getting revenge? Travis has been developing as a character throughout the entire game, ultimately fully realizing after the Alice duel that revenge and violence have repercussions and it's all more than just a game. By destroying the United Assassins Association, ending with Jasper Bat Jr., Travis attempted to stop the cycle of death and resulting acts of revenge that the UAA had been perpetuating and become something like a hero. In any case, his actions become more moral than those of the UAA. So in other words, because the player now has a decent cause to pursue and already knows that revenge is pointless, having Jasper be designed to punish you more with how bad it is sounds really fucking patronizing. This is a final battle with blatant design flaws that, regardless of any message, will make you unsatisfied with the game rather than with the story. When I kept getting killed by Jasper, all I could think was that was really fucking cheap, instead of, you know, this whole revenge thing isn't worth it. And I'm not saying that you can't make a message about violence and revenge in a video game. That would be a fucking brilliant idea. However, such a message should never come at the expense of good game design. If the battle with Jasper was truly effective, it would immerse the player into the game and its rules rather than take them out of it with shitty programming. This could have been a great final battle that was an appropriate test of skill like the Henry fight from the first No More Heroes, a solid resolution to Travis's quest to become a hero, and good commentary on how unsatisfying revenge is through Jasper's stupid appearance. But no, we got fucking Windows. And you know what the best part about this is? He isn't the worst boss I've ever faced.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me! So help me! So help me! And come!
Sonic 2006. What can I say? I mean, really, what can I say? It's become the go-to video game punchline in recent years, and unless you got your hopes too high for this game, mocking it will never stop being funny. The story sucks, the gameplay sucks, the characters and acting suck, and the boss fights suck. Yeah, Silver the Hedgehog is a really fucking terrible boss. Hands down the worst designed boss fights I've ever faced. And you know what? I can't hate them. It's kind of incredible to see just how these boss fights fail in every conceivable way.
But the music's cool.
Yeah, have your iTunes as elevator music. You can only attack Silver when he's getting ready to throw things at you with telekinesis, but since the camera makes you unable to see him whenever you turn around, you'll never know when the guard's up and he's about to grab you and toss you away like a gamer rage-quitting Sonic 06. And then pin you into a corner where you'll be unable to die and unable to move. Since this game's control is so stiff, unless you do a very specific dash to get out of the way, Silver will unavoidably retaliate while you're airborne after damaging him. And then he'll throw you sky high where you can't escape your inevitable doom. And let me tell you about Silver. If you try to attack him while his guard's up, he'll have you know that he thinks your attempts to breach his psychic barrier are ineffective and fruitless. In other words...
It's no use, Tape! It's no use, Tape! Tape! This will end it! It's no use, Tape! It's no use! It's no use! It's no use! It's no fucking use!
Okay, seriously, these boss battles are the example of what happens when you rush a project for an early release. Even when it should be obvious what you should do to defeat Silver, literally every game mechanic will betray you and cause countless deaths or even game overs that are entirely the fault of the game's design. If Sonic 06 had more production time, it could have easily corrected all the glitches and glaring physics problems present in these fights. I'll fully admit that I hate the battle with Jasper Bat Jr. more because I had higher expectations for it, but let me tell ya, Jasper is looking at this shit and laughing at it. No, really, it's actually kind of hilarious. Silver the Hedgehog would honestly be great to show game design students to show them how not to design something. Because really, what else can you say? Counterintuitive weakness? It's no use. Attacking you faster than you can react? It's no use. Blindsiding camera? It's no use. Trapping you in an infinite loop of getting hurt and spontaneously healing? It's no use. Silver the Hedgehog?
Well, what the hell do you think?